The door-in-the-face technique is a compliance method where someone makes an initial outrageous request of you that you will certainly refuse. Then, after you reject that extreme request, they follow up with a more reasonable request that they really wanted you to agree to all along. The theory is that having first rejected their larger demand, you will feel obliged to say yes to the second, more modest request as a concession. How they used it on you. Salespeople, negotiators, and fundraisers often employ the door-in-the-face technique to influence your behavior. For example, a car salesman might initially offer you a vehicle at an exorbitant price. After you refuse, he presents a slightly lower, but still overpriced offer, making it seem like a good deal in comparison. A colleague asks you to take on a time-consuming project over the weekend. When you decline, they ask if you can just review a few pages of the report, which now seems more manageable. A charity canvasser requests a substantial donation. Upon your refusal, they suggest a much smaller contribution, which you feel more inclined to give. In each case, the initial extreme request is met with a metaphorical door in the face. But the second, smaller request is more likely to be accepted. Signs of the technique. Be wary when someone makes an unreasonable or excessive initial demand, follows up with a more moderate request related to the first one, implies they are making a concession or compromise, emphasizes the contrast between the two requests. If you notice this pattern, the door-in-the-face technique may be at play. Defending yourself. To avoid falling for this tactic, recognize when someone is using the technique on you. Awareness is key. Evaluate each request independently rather than comparing them. Don't feel obligated to comply just because a concession was made. Suggest an alternative that meets your needs, not just theirs. Remember, you're not obligated to agree to an unreasonable request, even if a smaller one follows. Trust your judgment, using it to your advantage. When applied ethically, the door-in-the-face technique can benefit you in situations involving negotiation or persuasion. For example, when discussing your salary, ask for a raise that's slightly higher than your goal. If refused, propose a more realistic figure. If you need a favor, first ask for a bigger one. Then scale it back to what you actually need. As a seller, start with a high price, then lower it to one that still meets your profit goals. The key is to make your initial request significant enough to be rejected, but not so extreme that it damages the relationship. With practice, the door-in-the-face technique can be a valuable tool for achieving your objectives.